Have you heard everybody talking about Tailwind CSS? But you don't know anything about it. We're gonna go through this so quickly that you're gonna understand Tailwind at the end of this and you're gonna feel a lot more comfortable with it. Check it out. So we're gonna go ahead and do something really cool with Tailwind. The only thing I have in my folder right now is this index.html file that I just created and this image called the South that I'm gonna show you in a second. We're gonna make a card and this is gonna be so fast and so you're gonna find out exactly how powerful Tailwind can truly be. So the first thing that we're gonna do, exclamation point, enter. If you're using VS Code with Emmet snippets, this will give you all this boilerplate text without you having to do anything. And the one thing that we're going to add here is so that way we don't have to do like an npm install or anything. We can just go ahead and add this. So the only thing you have to do right here is add this link, and it'll be, I'll put it in the description for you right here. And so we're not even going to do a title or anything. We're just going to come here straight to the body. So we're going to come here and we're going to do a div. And the cool thing with Tailwind is you don't need any CSS files or anything like that. You can do this all within the classes. Now you can add your own CSS as well to do adjustments if it's not available in Tailwind, but you just add it inline. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna add a flex because we're gonna use Flexbox and we're gonna justify everything to the center. Boom. So no need for CSS. So we're gonna create a card. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do another div inside this area. And basically what this does is our container that we just created here is going to be in the center of the page basically. And so now we're doing a card and I want the max width. So max W represents max width. And I want that size to be extra small, which is equivalent to 20 rems. I want the corners to be rounded. We're going to do a shadow on this. It should be shadow large. Oops, misspelled there. Shadow large. Now, I want to add a margin to this. Now, how can I add a margin? The cool thing with Tailwind, if I want to add a margin on right and left, I can use the M, which represents margin. I can use an X, which represents the X-axis, meaning the horizontal plane. Or if I want to add margin to the top and the bottom, I can use a margin Y, and it'll add margin to both. So I don't need to create a separate margin. I can just literally, those two letters, I add it right there. So I know I'm going to add margin to this. Let's do a margin Y of 2. Now 2, each number represents 0.25 rem. So by doing margin Y 2, I'm saying I want margin on my top and my bottom, and I want it equal to half a rem. We're gonna add a border around this of 4, which means I want it to be pretty bold. And we can go ahead and add a border color, and we'll just go ahead and choose purple because I'm thinking about Floor and Pop, have some purple there, and we'll add a 500, and that's how dark I want it to be. And inside here, I'm gonna add an image tag. So image, this is a perfect time for you right now to hit the like button on this video. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm and it feels so good. The source is going to be, what did I call it? South.jpg. The alt will be Southern. And then what we can do here is we're gonna add our class. I like adding it before the source. So we'll add our class, and I want the width to be full, so W full, width full. I want my border to be slightly smaller, and I want that border to be red, just to kind of show you the differences. And the 500, you can have 500, 300, 200. It just represents how bright, how dark, what do you want it to be. And so if I save that and come here, and I'm gonna go ahead and open with Live Server, now I've got this red border, this purple border, and this image. Put some South in your mouth. I thought that'd be funny. I'm gonna format this. Cool. So I'm gonna come here inside that same div and I'm gonna do a div here. And the class for this is gonna be padding. I want padding on this, right? So I'm gonna add some text under that image and I want the padding on the sides, but I also want it on the top and the bottom. So I'm gonna do a PX6, so that 6 represents 1.5 rem. And I'm gonna do a PY 4. So I want the padding on the sides and I want the padding on the top and the bottom. In here, we're gonna go ahead and again, and I want this font to be bold. So like a header, font bold. I want the text to be extra large. And I want the margin bottom to be 2. Like I just want a little bit of space after that heading where the text will be. And we'll go ahead and write Memphis barbecue. And we add that there and we've got that text there. And from here, we'll have our P class. And we're going to do text, gray, and we'll do 500, and we'll do text base. And I'm going to go ahead and add some lorem ipsum that I've got saved right here. And we'll add some lorem ipsum. We save it, and we've got that text right there. 500 may be too dark. Let's try and do 200. Let's try 900. And we'll try 700. Boom, just those easy changes and we get them right there. And so what would be cool is after these divs, well, after this div, we'll come over here and we're gonna add a couple little hashtags at the bottom that you kind of see on cards, right? So we're gonna have another div. The class for this, it's gonna be the same thing, px6, py4 to match the top. We're gonna go, and I'm thinking we'll make 3 bubbles, so we'll do a span. Whoops. Span class equals inline block, because I want them to be inline. I want the background to be gray 300. I want them to be rounded edges, so we'll do rounded full to make them like really circular. I'm gonna add padding of 3 on the x-axis, just a little bit of padding to separate the top and the bottom. We're gonna do text small, because I want that text to be small. We want that font to be semi-bold. And then we're gonna do a margin right of 2 to keep them separated. And from here, we can add the first hashtag, and we'll do hashtag photography. And then what we can do here is honestly just copy this 1, 2 more times. And then from here, we can go ahead and do Memphis, hashtag what they said, I don't know, whatever. And we'll save that. And we've got these that popped up. So this one kind of has a little bit of, it has an MR of 2. So let's go ahead and add a margin on the y-axis of 2. Just to create some space. And boom, just like that, that fast, we've got a full card, we've got a coloring around the sides, we've got our margin, and we can change this to whatever we want. So let's say we don't like that margin red around the, let's just say we don't like that margin of red, so we can come here and do a margin of yellow. And now we got that little yellow around it, and it makes it kind of like blend in a little bit better. Or if we don't want any border at all, we can just come here. And now it's just one little card. So just that quickly, using Tailwind, without anything else, you can make your entire card look great. Hope that explains and shows you what you can possibly do with this. You can add this to any kind of project, your React projects, your JavaScript projects. I could talk about this all day, but I really want you to check out my other videos. So check out my other videos, and I will see you on the next one.